Here's Karine Jean-Pierre.
So you're asking oil companies to further lower gas prices. So you're asking oil companies to further lower gas prices. What makes you think that they are going to listen to an administration that is ultimately trying to put them out of business?
See, I think she knows she's being set up because she's talked to him enough. One of the things that you don't want to do here is ask a question. So when he says this is just strategic in general for these type of things, this press briefing. I mean, in real life, when you're just talking to somebody, if you're having an authentic conversation, questions are great. Like if you really want to know, this is not an authentic conversation by either side. This is a political propaganda battle. So when he says this,
so you're asking oil companies to further lower gas prices. What makes you think that they are going?
You see her face. She knows she's being set up. She's like, damn it, I can't mess with this dude. This dude's good. You got to give Psaki credit. Look at her face. You got to give Psaki credit. She went to battle with me. I think she liked it too. She liked doing that. I think she's going to miss that. She liked going to battle with Doocy. She was very good at it because you've got to give Psaki credit because she had the losing argument. So pretend you had to defend what this administration's doing. It's easier to attack what the administration's doing. So remember, that's a handicap. Jen Psaki had the disadvantage, and she went to battle respectfully, even though she was trash, and I think she lost the battles, but what she was smart about was Yas Queen. So if she didn't know what was going on, she would come with she was witty. She had a snapback that had nothing to do with anything or really had no substance, but people on Twitter would be like, ooh, look how she owned him. Karine Jean-Pierre doesn't have that. I don't have that. So I'm not knocking her for that, but she's in that role where that could come in handy. So she knows she's just getting beat. So when somebody put her out of her misery, I like her. I don't have any beef with her. I don't know why she took that job. That's not the right job. You have to be a professional liar for that job. She is not a liar. You look at her face, she cannot lie. That's not the job for you if you're not a liar.
So you're asking oil companies to further lower gas prices. What makes you think that they are going to listen to an administration that is ultimately trying to put them out of business?
Do not ask a question. Do not. Because even if Doocy wasn't trying to set her up, it gives Doocy control. You do not ask a question. You do your snapback. You do your redirect. You do not ask a question here.
So you're asking oil companies to further lower gas prices. What makes you think that they are going to listen to an administration that is ultimately trying to put them out of business?
What I would say is they don't have to listen to us. We think that they would want to do the right thing while our country's in the middle of a proxy war or however you want to say it. We think they'll do the right thing. We want to tell them the will of the American people. Even this is a lie. I want to tell them the will of the American people is for them to do the right thing. What's best for our country? Do not ask him a question. And, I kind of feel like I'm talking about this like I wish I could talk to her. What is she doing?
How is the administration trying to put them out of business?
What is she doing? Why does she need paper to answer that question? She's not prepared. This is the same thing that we're seeing with Kamala. She's completely unprepared. How can you not? That's an easy question to answer.
So you're asking oil companies to further lower gas prices. What makes you think that they are going to listen to an administration that is ultimately trying to put them out of business?
How?
It's easy. We're not trying to put them out of business. Their profits are huge. This is not the right thing for our country. This is what the will of American people are. That's not a hard question to answer. Basically, when they accuse you of something that you really did, all you got to do is lie and say that's not really it, and then spin it. She's making this job too hard. What is she looking at in her binder? You don't need the binder for this. I don't know why. I actually like her. I actually think she's a likable person outside of this role. And I know she was on TV talking about the race stuff and all that, but if you want to be on TV, I'm going to end with my next segment, because I have a hard out in 10 minutes. I'm going to end with this discussion of the house or field Negro. And I don't want to accuse her. I don't mean this as a negative thing. I actually want to bring it up as a legitimate conversation of discussion. If you want to be cozied up to whoever and you want to make money, you want to be on TV, you have those aspirations, then you have to talk the race stuff. You have to. I don't think that means she's a bad person. I think it means it could be, I don't think she believes it. I think it could be just, I want to have this job. I have this aspirations. I don't think it goes against my morals to say this about Trump or this about black people or this about non-black people. She's fiddling through her book. What are you looking for? There's nothing there. There's nothing you need for this simple question. She's not going to make it past the end of this year. Why is she looking through the book? She has a talking point for every topic. I get it. And if you're off the talking point, you're in danger. But you've got to be able to you've got to be able to. So why she stepped into mud here is because she asked the question, and I think she asked the question because she wanted to buy time to find the answer in the book. If you're going to use the book, you got to find a better way to get the answer. Get rid of the book and do it digitally. I know that puts it in danger with hacking or something like that. I don't know if they're even allowed to do that. Her system isn't quick enough. We're talking about the strategic oil, petrol reserve. You should be able to, he just talked about it. It should be like right there. What are you looking for?
So you're asking oil companies to further lower gas prices. What makes you think that they are going to listen to an administration that is ultimately trying to put them out of business?
How is the administration trying to put them out of business?
See, she thinks that's an own. You see, I can see by her face. She's trying to do it as an own. That's not an own. You don't ask the question, you say the statement, because that's just an opinion. It's not a factual, like we just decreased it by 15 million barrels. It's you're trying to put them out of business. Now, we have proof of him saying that, but it's still not a factual statement. You can lie and say we're not. Don't ask the question.
Trying to put them out of business.
Well, they produce fossil fuels, and this president says he wants to end fossil fuel.
And then she sets herself up to get clipped like that.
You're asking oil companies to further lower gas prices. What makes you think that they are going to listen to an administration that is ultimately trying to put them out of business?
How is the administration trying to put them out of business?
Well, they produce fossil fuels, and this president says he wants to end fossil fuel.